Today on Starfield Essentials, your weekly Starfield news report. Starborn factions rule. Everbright is awesome. Specters of Starfield. Forgotten Frontiers is fun. You got served. No ladders for landing bay or docking hatch. The Expanse character presets. And Starfield Visual Compendium page count confirmed. All stories have chapter markers for easy navigation and links in the description for sourcing. My name is Richard. Let's get started. Starborn factions rule. Starborn are cool, but their fashion sense leaves something to be desired. I'm at the point where I like to see Starborn appearing much more frequently in my game and looking different each time. Modder the Wulfy has stepped up to this challenge. I previously talked about mods by the Wulfy in my Whole New World video. In that video I talked about Wulfy's Faction and Encounter expansion project, available on Creations for 300 credits. That creation added 9 new factions to Starfield. The new Starborn faction Spacesuit Variety and Skins, or SFSV, and an associated patch, add Starborn to this expansion. SFSV brings some variety to the Starborn and a chance to meet them in different circumstances. Starborn faction Spacesuit Variety and Skins, or SFSV, is available for 300 credits on Creations, with a patch for factions and encounters also free on Creations. When you have all 3 of these creations working together, you have the chance to encounter many different cool Starborn at random locations in the game. Now, I also play with the amazing Bedlam mod by AGD25, aka Gothos25, which also adds a chance to add Starborn to enemy parties. SFSV and Bedlam seem to work together. I'm also running real gravitational anomalies and Starborn encounters, featured last week, with all of these mods. Everything seems to be cooperating. Once you add SFSV to the mix, you will see cool-looking Starborn in colorful new uniforms. I used the multi-tool axe by Ghost Rider 231 to recruit several of these new-look Starborn as party members. Using the Lazy Scav Auto-Loot mod by Ori, I also added several of these new Starborn armors to my ship cargo. I'm a big fan of adding variety and expanding the vanilla Starfield game loop with new content, rather than overhauling or converting the entire game. If you're of a similar mindset, I highly recommend checking out these new creations by the Wulfy. Thank you to the Wulfy for answering questions I had before I purchased this creation. And thank you to all subscribers. If you're enjoying this video, please consider subscribing. Less than a third of viewers seeing my videos are subscribers. If you want to tell the world and YouTube that you enjoy positive and honest Starfield content, subscribing is a great way to do that. Thank you. Next, Everbright is awesome. Several of you have been patiently waiting for me to talk about a new paid quest creation called Everbright. Here are my spoiler-free impressions. First, thank you to viewers and especially members for supporting this channel, which enables me to buy creations like this. Everbright is available for 600 credits on Creations. 600 credits is a little bit on the more expensive side, but in my opinion, it's totally worth it. I think the story and lore are excellent, and the vibe fits Starfield perfectly. If you're looking for content that adds new quest material, this is probably for you. When you play, be ready for a few decent space battles. It might be a good idea to bring some help. I personally always fly around with at least 2 other ships, thanks to the excellent Fleet Commander creation by Korodic. If you own the Watchtower creation, you likely also have a fleet by now. I just finished the main Everbright quest, and it turns out there are additional missions that the player can pursue after the primary storyline is finished. There's also a new companion with great voice acting. I highly recommend this creation. Let me know if you've also tried Everbright and what you think of it. I like that the Starfield galaxy is big enough to enable telling these kinds of stories. If the developers had compressed the game into a handful of planets, modders would likely be stepping over each other, overloading content onto those few locations. Next, Specters of Starfield. Do you need more ghostly creatures in Starfield? Of course you do! I found this gem of an older mod by Andy5000 dating from January 2004. Oh, those were the days. It converts the corpses placed at various POIs into animated specters that attack players who get too close. Specters of Starfield is available on Nexus mods. I chose the default version, which seemingly converts every corpse the modder could find into a shimmering, stealthy specter enemy. For example, when I visited the deserted Freestar Collective garrison, several of these creatures attacked my group. I was not able to use my EM weapon to subdue them, but I could add them to my party using the multi-tool axe. Now, instead of encountering an inanimate corpse, my group will find another challenge to overcome. Great work, Andy 5000. Next, Forgotten Frontiers is fun. 7 months ago, I talked about the Forgotten Frontiers creation by Mad Monkey 119. I thought it was definitely worth buying, as it added 5 awesome new POIs to Radiant gameplay. Now, Mad Monkey 119 is back with their second installment in the Forgotten Frontiers series. Forgotten Frontiers 2 is available for 500 credits on Creations. This creation adds 5 more original POIs. It has native gameplay options to choose how often you should see them in your play. Thus far, I have only found the subterranean hydroelectric plant, but it was so much fun! The quality of the locations that Mad Monkey 119 builds is unparalleled, and they have a great sense of level design. If you want to add massive new POIs to your game loop, I highly recommend both Forgotten Frontiers creations. They work with all the mods I have installed, and they can be added independently of one another. Just be aware that these are essentially giant dungeons, so if you're looking for puzzles or diplomacy, these are not for you.
What is it? Can't you see I'm busy? I need these court summons delivered. You need to confirm their identity in order to serve them the document. Be careful out there.
Next, you got served. I have mixed feelings about my next creation. I like mods that add new activities for players without substantially changing Starfield. That's why I bought More Jobs, You Got Served by Lysoft Dev. You Got Served is available for 300 credits on Creations. The idea behind this is simple enough. The creation adds a prosecutor to New Atlantis, Neon, and Aquila City. When you visit the prosecutor, they may have court summons paperwork that the player can deliver to an NPC in exchange for credits and XP. Basically, you get the quest, follow a marker to the target, and then try to persuade them to accept the court summons. If you pass the persuasion minigame, you complete the quest and get the reward. If you fail, the quest fails. And that's it. I feel like there's something missing here, but I don't know how I would change this creation. Maybe you could try to repeat the summons, or take them prisoner, or some other mechanic. I felt a little let down by this purchase. It looks a little weird because the summons apply to standard citizen NPCs who do not render as full NPCs in the game.
Why do you need to know?
Could show the same dedication in return.
Paperwork, eh? Seems official. But is it for me?
Remember, you can always visit the r Starfield mod feedback subreddit and find a mod or creation to leave your thoughts. I would like all mod authors, especially those selling creations, to keep an eye on that subreddit. That would allow for an exchange between developers and players, which is missing in the creation system. Please let me know if you tried You Got Served and what you think of it. Next, no ladders for landing bay or docking hatch. Now for some before and after. I came across this neat little mod while looking for ship mods. Mattel released this a while ago, but it works with the latest game version. Mattel's ladderless docking and loading bay hatches is available on Nexus mods. Thanks to this mod, you can streamline your ship interior. The ladders down to a ship hatch and up to a docking hatch add nothing to the game. Why not remove them? With this no ladders mod, they are gone. This mod worked great in my ship, using the values shown in these screen captures. Just notice that this doesn't get rid of all ladders. If you have ladders between decks, you're going to still have those. These are for the docking bay and for ladders going down into the landing bay. Next, the Expanse character presets. I'm a big fan of the TV show The Expanse, and so is modder Cultured Savage. They have been adding character presets representing some of the show's personalities into Starfield. The link in the description points to all of them. Here is pirate Marco Renaros, and fellow pirate, I guess she's still a heroine though, Kamina Drummer, one of my favorites. On the other side of the spectrum, here is Martian Marine Bobby Draper, a character I couldn't stand in the beginning and then I ended up just loving her. And here is journalist Monica Stewart. And finally we have Amos Burton, probably my favorite character from the show, along with Drummer and Ashford. These are so great. Thank you, Cultured Savage. And finally, Starfield Visual Compendium page count confirmed. Many of us are bibliophiles, and we have been looking forward to the upcoming Starfield Visual Compendium. I talked about this book in late April, but in the last week, Amazon has released several interior screen captures. When we first learned of this book, there was a debate concerning the page length. Sites like Random House and Amazon said 368 pages, but Dark Horse listed 192. Well, as you can see in the later screen captures, we have page numbers exceeding both 200 and 300. This makes it likely the book is indeed 368 pages, as noted by Amazon and Random House. I plan to buy both hardcover and digital editions of the book when it arrives in September. Thank you to all my subscribers. Please consider subscribing to show YouTube that you enjoy positive and honest Starfield content. Special thanks to all channel members. I hope you're enjoying our private Discord server. If you'd like to know more about membership, click the join button on the channel. There is no obligation. Anything you and YouTube gives me goes back to this channel, whether it's to buy hard drives for capturing footage or acquiring creations to review. What have you been doing in Starfield? Your insights make this channel a place for positive and honest discussion of this game. In addition to videos, I also post to the community tab for this channel on a daily basis. If you subscribe, you will see these posts in your YouTube feed. If you made it to this part of the video, please leave a comment with the word Starborn. By the way, you can see some of the mods that I talked about in this video working together here at this temple. This is the Real Gravitational Anomalies and Starborn's Encounter mod working with the SFSV mod. Also, remember to ring the bell icon and select all notifications. Check out my other videos, and please tell your friends about the channel. My name is Richard. I will see you in the Starfield.